song Get Up by Korn. Don't ask me why I have it, I just like the song Get Up by Korn. I like the band Korn, period, they're a great band. But anyway, about what the video is about, this is about wildcard teams that have a chance to win it all, and how they can do it. And let's start with the Bengals. Okay? Cedric Benson. This year hasn't been one of his best years. A couple years, last time when the Bengals went into the playoffs, Cedric Benson was a good running back. He was a great running back, really. He was one of the breakout players that year because when he was with Chicago, he wasn't that good. He didn't even rush for a 1,000-yard season. And then that year, he went into Cincinnati, didn't have a good year, had mediocre, didn't rush for 1,000 yards. Then he came in and he rushed for 1,000 yards. Bengals went to the playoffs. They lost in the first round against the Jets, but still, at least they make it to the playoffs, Okay, he has had 273 carries this season for 1,067 yards, and he's averaging 3.9 yards a carry. He can be better. He can, if he rushes for, about 5 yards per carry, or possibly even 4 yards a carry, I think A.J. Green and Andy Dalton will be able to do the rest of the passing game. Because this is a good team. They'll be able to stop the Texans on defense. And this could really help them throughout the season. Because any teams that have a good running attack and a good defense, and it doesn't even need to be a great passing attack, more of a mediocre passing attack, like the Bengals are, that can really take you far into the playoffs. He has rushed for 3 100-yard games, twice against the Browns, once against the Bills. What do I have to say against the Bills? The Bills look like a team at the start of the season that were going to contend for the playoffs. They started off 5-0, something like that, and then they started losing. They gave Ryan Fitzpatrick a contract extension. They gave him more money, and the guy averages about 3 interceptions a game. He could. They were just a falling team. That team has not been good in years. They haven't made it to the playoffs since the 90s. Not sure if that's a real fact. Comment if I'm wrong. Okay, now, enough of the Bills, because this video isn't about the Bills, because the Bills suck so bad, they're not even in the playoffs. So, okay, we all got caught up on Cedric Benson. Now, let's go to the Texans. Team they are taking on, T.J. Yates is 3-3 in his whole entire career. He isn't I don't think he's a great quarterback. He looked great in his first 3 games. He started out undefeated, 3-0. Music's over. Good song. Okay, he started out 3-0, then he lost his last 3 games. He has 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions this season. And here are the teams they have beat. Okay, by the way, T.J. Yates came in, I don't know if I said this or not already, but T.J. Yates came in for Matt Schaub when he got injured about midway into the season. And he's played 6 games with the Texans. Okay. Now here are his wins. These are the first 3 games he started. His first start, they took on the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that is not going to the playoffs this year. They aren't a good team. They're a rebuilding team, but they're not a great team. I'm sure that they'll be good in the next 5-some years. But they had 70 yards. He had 70 yards passing, no touchdowns, not even mediocre, really nothing. He really didn't play a part in the whole entire game. Then the Falcons. The Falcons aren't a great defense, but they still were able to beat a playoff team. And he played a really good game. 188 yards and a touchdown, very mediocre. Then they took on the Bengals, which is the team that they're about to take on in the playoffs. He threw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. I actually have the Bengals beating the Texans in the playoffs, just because I think that the Bengals defense will be able to stop what the Texans have, because the Bengals, they were one of the best defenses this year, which is surprising. They did have the players to do it, but anyway, here are his losses. Panthers. They took on the Panthers. He lost. These are all interceptions, by the way. These next 2 games, he did not throw a touchdown. This was the only game he had an interception in, though. Okay, against the Panthers, he threw for 212 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's ultimately why they lost that game. And Cam Newton, he's a very good quarterback, and I think the Panthers are going to be contending in the playoffs in a couple more years. I really see everything going up for that organization. Then we got the Colts, which the Colts are just god-awful this year, and they're able to lose to the Colts. You know, sure, you don't got your starting quarterback in for the Texans, but neither do the Colts. They had Dan Orviginski, I think that's how you pronounce his name, not very sure, because I don't really pay much attention to the Colts, especially this year. But they had him in as quarterback, and he was only able to go for 132 yards and no touchdowns. TJ Yates was. And not a very good game, because especially with that D by the Colts, one of the worst this season. They did not play good. They do have a Pro Bowler in there, Dwight Freeney, which he's kind of had some struggles this year, but okay then. Titans. He didn't even play the whole game. They had Jake Delhomme come in, and Jake Delhomme pretty much played. So I'm not even sure if TJ will even play the next game, because Jake did okay. It could have just been a thing. They didn't want him to get injured, so they put in Jake Delhomme. But anyway, he was able to throw 47 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions in that game. Because, like I said, he didn't play much. I think he only threw for like 5 passes. That was it. Okay, and then the Steelers. You know, I didn't find too many flaws in the Steelers. Besides, really, if Troy Polamalu goes down, that team isn't going to do well. Troy Polamalu hasn't even been that great this year. He hasn't got a pick this year, not once. And he has been a big factor for the team. So I think it just starts with the quarterback. You know, Ben Roethlisberger, he needs to play better. He has thrown 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Only 7 more touchdowns than interceptions, you know. Pretty good year. He's going to the Pro Bowl. But, you know, yeah, he's a Pro Bowl quarterback. I agree with that. But the Pro Bowl is pretty much it is fan picks, so they're just going to pick whoever. You know, Phillip Rivers in the Pro Bowl. He shouldn't be in the Pro Bowl. Phillip Rivers is no Pro Bowl quarterback, this year at least. Last year, yeah. Last year he was great. This year, no. He's not good this year. Okay, so yeah, Ben Roethlisberger has 4,077 yards. Last year he only had 3,000, except he didn't have as many passes. So, okay, that's it with the Steelers, you know. And then to the Broncos. Okay, you know what I'm going to say. It's obvious. Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow can't be the quarterback that turns it on in the 4th quarter. He has to be the guy that's able to play the whole entire game, and we haven't really seen that from Tim Tebow all season. So, yeah, Tim Tebow, he's 12 for 6 this year, 1,729 yards, and record as a starter 7-4. That's pretty good, you know. This team looked like they were going to be out of the playoffs. They looked like they were going to have no chance with Kyle Orton. Kyle Orton does look good with the Kansas City Chiefs, though, you know. I hope he does good. He's a former Bear, so I like him. And he's from Iowa. I live in Iowa, so. Yeah, he just needs to pick it up. Teams he's beaten in clutch, the Dolphins. I think it was a run-in for the touchdown that won the game. Then he beat the Chargers in overtime. Good game. I know that he was able to bring him down, and I don't know the exact person he threw it to. I'm not that big of a Bronco fan, so I know he threw a touchdown, brought him into overtime, kicked the field goal, and they're there. Okay, then they took on the Vikings, and they were able to beat the Vikings in overtime, and then he took on my beloved Bears. Yeah. But if Marion Barber didn't run out of bounds, this wouldn't have happened. You know, if Marion Barber wasn't such an idiot and ran out of bounds, the Bears would have been in the playoffs this year, and the Broncos wouldn't have because they lost to the Bears. And they wouldn't have won their division, I'm pretty sure. Possibly the Raiders could have won. But, oh, God, the Raiders are so stupid. How can you lose when so much is on the line? Really? You know, the funny thing is Carson Palmer, he went to the Raiders looking for something better, and the Bengals are doing a great job, even making it to the playoff, and the Raiders can't because the Raiders are just that bad. They have not gone to the playoffs since 2002. Okay, but anyway, back to what I was talking about with Tim Tebow. Here are his losses and the scores. They lost to the Lions, 10-45. Patriots, 23-41. And these are the last 3 games he's played. And then Patriots, 23-41. Bills, 14-40. The Bills. And then they lost to the Chiefs 7-3. And that's another thing. How do you only score 3 points when this is a must-win pretty much? You know, if the Raiders win, they're going to the playoffs. You're not going to the playoffs. You need to win this game. They got into the playoffs just because they're lucky. You know, maybe it was God. Maybe. Who knows? Okay, let's go to the Falcons. I'm going to have to try to hurry this up. Falcons, Matt Ryan. He's been pretty good this year, but like I said, it starts with the quarterback. Because this league has turned into a quarterback league. You need a good quarterback to pretty much succeed in the NFL. And they haven't had that great of a defense either. They don't got that great of a defense. Okay, but he's thrown 29 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He started out the year pretty shaky. He's another one of those quarterbacks, just like Eli Manning, who he's going to take on. He's kind of hot and cold. Like, he's thrown games where he's only thrown picks, and then he's had games where he's perfect, throwing 3 touchdowns. But yeah, I don't think they'll be able to win the playoffs. I mean, go to the Super Bowl if Matt Ryan's only going to be able to throw for a touchdown a game. You know, I don't think they'll be able to take him there like that. He's at least going to have to throw at least 2 a game. But okay, then we got Eli Manning, who they're taking on. He is a very hot and cold quarterback. You know, they just took on the Cowboys and they beat them. He was able to throw 3 touchdowns. And then 2 weeks before that, they took on the Washington Redskins, a bad team. And they lost to them because Eli Manning threw 3 picks, no touchdowns. He is a very, very hot and cold quarterback. This is how he's been for a long time now. Okay, this year, yes, he threw 29 touchdowns, 16 interceptions with 4,093 yards. This is his best stats since the 2009 season. I don't have his exact stats from then, but I got the 2007 stats when they were able to go to the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots, which they were the ultimate underdog to win that game. But that year, it was not a good year for him. 3,336 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. That's like a Rex Grossman year as a Chicago Bear. But anyway, Matt Stafford, he's going to need to show up. He has been great this year. I don't know if he's in the Pro Bowl or not. I should look it up. I'll be back to you guys with that if he is. Yeah, if he isn't, I'll be surprised. I only know a couple players in the Pro Bowl right now. But he has thrown for 5,038 yards, 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, and he can't be the Matt Stafford that's going to go out and throw interceptions to win this, because if they are to take on the Packers, they're going to need to throw touchdowns. Speaking of Packers, wow, Matt Flynn, he did great beating a Packer record. It wasn't Aaron Rodgers throwing 6 touchdowns, it was Matt Flynn throwing 6 touchdowns. But anyway, the Lions are dangerous when they're not hurt. Lions are very dangerous. So Drew Brees with the Saints, you know, he can't play bad. Although he really hasn't all year. He's thrown some interceptions, but you know. This year he has thrown 46 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 5,476 yards. So that's really all I got. The winner of the last question I had was, when was the last time the 49ers went to the Super Bowl? It was January 29th, 1995. Spinner and Sports won it. I'm sorry, Spinner, I don't have that many views. Hopefully, in the future, I'll get more views. But I will have his link in the description box. I don't have that many views, so I don't know if your name will really get that much out. But anyway, here's the next question. Name the last 5 NFL MVPs. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you like it. Go Bears. Well, Bears aren't playing. So let's go Bulls, you know? Go Bulls.